Bryan Kohberger has been transferred to the Idaho State Penitentiary. That's right, the Idaho Maximum Security Institution, just outside of Boise, Idaho, has a new tenant named Bryan Kohberger. Hey everyone, as you know, once convicted, once sentenced, especially when you're going to be serving 4 consecutive life sentences plus 10 more years, all stacked on top of each other, that jail, that Ada County jail, wants to get you a moving. It didn't take long for Bryan Kohberger, as he was just sentenced yesterday. Literally, we all watched with our own eyes as he made his way through the impact statements by the families. Even Dylan Mortensen showed up to say what she needed to say to Mr. Bryan Kohberger. But when it was all said and done, after the judge had handed him his sentence, Ada County, they couldn't get rid of him quick enough. And Bryan Kohberger was transferred, and now he is awaiting to be classified. He's going through the intake process. This is where he's going to be receiving his Department of Corrections number. Every state gives their inmates a DOC number. And I'll tell you what, it's nothing to be proud of. It's legitimately exactly what they say it is. That's your number. Your name no longer matters. Now it's your DOC number, and it follows you for life. Whether you spend the rest of your life in the Department of Corrections or you get to come home like someone like I have been able to do, that DOC number always follows you. Now, the process is very simple for Bryan Kohberger now as he awaits. He's going to go through the various testing, both educational, mental, emotional, everything, the poking, the prodding that they do at the intake center. They're going to check his teeth. They're going to check his eyes. They'll check his hearing. They're going to make sure that they're on top of every little detail that he's going to need medically moving forward, because that's right, ladies and gentlemen. One of the privileges when you land into the Department of Corrections is now they are your insurance provider. They are your medical provider. They determine exactly how to best take care of you. It's no longer up to you on what's necessary or needs to be done. It's up to them. So Bryan Kohberger is going to be poked and prodded. He's going to be checked out. If he needs some new teeth, they'll yank out those current teeth he has, just like my word. You'll get those pretty little dentures. And then, of course, if you need some vision help, if you're having a hard time with your vision, they'll give you those really cool looking, and I'm telling you, they're the highest quality eyewear possible. Name brand DOC, probably made by Barker Industries, as they seem to provide so much, including the toothpaste to the DOC. Where he's at now is not a pretty place. It's pretty much segregation. It's almost like solitary confinement in AgSeg when you get to the maximum security part of the jail. But here, oh, there's just no luxuries, no TV, no tablet, not even a good mattress to lay on because typically for someone like himself, he'll be there between 2 weeks up to about a month before they determine where he's going to begin actually serving his sentence, where home is going to be. Do they ship Bryan Kohberger out of state immediately? Or are they going to let him stay within the Idaho Maximum Security Institution there just outside of Boise? Because he does have 42 days, well, 41 now, that he could file an appeal. Doesn't mean it's going to be heard. It doesn't mean that it's even going to be looked at. It's most likely going to be denied, automatic, immediate. But he's got that 42 days to at least attempt to do that. So they may actually house him right where he's at for 42 days to allow that process to happen. But Bryan Kohberger has been transferred from Ada County Jail to the Idaho Maximum Security Institution outside of Boise, where he is now on the fast track to serving his quadruple homicide, 4 first-degree murder charges that he was convicted of, life sentences without the possibility of parole for each, and then, of course, the 10 years stacked upon all of that for the burglary charge. Don't know where he's going to go from here, but we're going to stay on top of that because that's what we do here at the Convict's Thoughts. We dig deep, we look at everything, and we bring it to you as quickly as possible. So don't forget, hit that like button, maybe even subscribe if you haven't. Remember, we're building upon the members' perks, so if you ever consider doing so, it would be much appreciated. We got much more to cover, many more things, like the hundreds and hundreds of pages worth of new documents dropped by Moscow Police Department. But of course, we're also going to work our way through the family victim statements at the Kohberger hearing, as well as the very cases that Bill Thompson prosecuted and turned into plea agreements rather than taking them to trial. I believe those are important to talk about because it just shows the tendency of Bill Thompson falling short of real and true capital justice. Thanks again. Appreciate you for stopping by. Hope to see you again very, very soon.